integers, yay, on a number line. Remember, any number on a number line, whether it's positive or it's negative, we're going to talk about integers, adding and subtracting integers. We're going to go over the notes, and then we're going to talk about a couple of problems together. So adding and subtracting integers. Adding and subtracting integers with like signs, that means the same signs, and you add and keep it the same. When you're adding and subtracting integers with unlike signs, you subtract and keep the sign of the higher integer. So you're going to add or subtract integers unlike, that means different symbols, different signs. One's negative and one's positive. You subtract and keep the sign of the higher integer. When subtracting a negative, it turns into a positive. When one of the following things happens, when you have a negative being subtracted by another negative, and then if you have a positive being subtracted by a negative. All right, so now let's practice. Let's see if I can get this. So if I have, let's say, negative 4 plus 2, I'm going to look at the problem. And I'm going to say negative 4 plus 2 would be negative 2. If I add a positive 2 for it, I'd be going down the other way in the number line. If you have a doubt, use your number line. 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. And I add 2 to it. 1, 2. There's my answer. If you have a doubt, draw a number line. Here, let's do another one. For adding, let's do 7 minus a negative 3. 7 minus negative 3. If I look at these two, if I have 7 and take away negative 3, this is going to cancel each other out, and this becomes a 10. So that's adding and subtracting integers. Now we're going to multiply and divide integers. If the sign of the integers are the same, then it's going to be a positive. Whether it's a negative integer or a positive integer in there, if they're both negative, it's going to be a positive answer. If they're both positive, it's going to be a positive answer. However, if one of the signs is different, it's going to make the whole thing negative. So let's practice it. So if I say negative 3 times 5, I have one negative, so that makes the whole answer negative. But if I have 4 times 6, both are positive, so I get a positive answer. Now what if I look at it a different way? If I say 6 times negative 2, I have one negative, the other one positive, makes the whole thing negative. And it's the same thing with division. If I have a negative 14 divided by a negative 2, I have two negatives, so that makes the whole thing positive. But if I have 1, let's say negative 36 divided by 6, I have one negative that makes the whole thing negative.